Have you got any alcohol ink refills? And did you know you can make backgrounds with these? Well, yes you can. And you can add foil, and today I'm going to show you how. It's easy to do. Welcome, it's time for another Take Two with Therese, and I've got two alcohol ink background cards to share with you today using these colours from Altenew. Yes, these are alcohol ink refills, and they're actually for refilling your artist markers, but we can use them to create our own fun backgrounds here today and add foil. For today's projects, we're going to be using a few different things. We've got three different colours here of the alcohol ink refills. I've got my stamping mat and my puffy tool, as well as some alcohol blending solution. One of the key ingredients here though today is this Yupo paper, which is a synthetic paper. So it's actually like a shiny bright white paper, this one. You can get it in a translucent, and you can get also a heavyweight one as well. I typically add these to the front of a card, so I don't need to use the heavyweight. And I'm going to start by creating my backgrounds. So what I've done here is just added a few drops of the pink diamond alcohol ink color to the front of my card, and then dropped some blending solution on top of that. And then for me it was just a matter of using the puffy tool to move the color around. And I just love the way that this sort of separates the ink into different sort of splotchy areas. Like, it gets some really amazing kind of shapes and looks to it. Now these probably weren't the two best colors to blend. I could have waited for the base color to dry, but I was too impatient. But you're not going to notice in a minute, because I'm going to keep adding color here. Next I'm coming in with the Aqualicious, which is quite a bit darker than the dewdrop color that I added as my second color. And I am coming in with a little bit of extra blending solution. So typically you can make as many layers as you want. You can keep adding over top. You can keep dropping the blending solution on, which will actually push the color away, and that looks pretty magnificent too. You can also add foil, and that is what I'm going to be doing here today. And I've got the gold foil. It's just a normal foil that you'd use for laminating, so very easy to come by. And what I'm doing here is I'm placing it with the pretty side up and putting some pressure on where those sort of nearly dry inked areas are. And what this is doing, it's actually picking up that beautiful gold foil as part of my design. Now, depending on how much of the area is sticky, you really don't have a lot of control over this, but depending on how much of the area is sticky is how much gold it's going to pick up. I just took this photo here just so hopefully you can see just how glorious and shiny it is. So I had to do it again, and this time I'm using the same colors, but I want it to be only on one portion of my card. And I did think about doing kind of a little bit of a lighter version initially, but then I just came in with the Aqualicious, and of course that always takes over. Now I have found in the past that the pinks in some of the alcohol ink solutions aren't very pink, but I was really impressed with how pretty this pink diamond color was. And you can see here in a moment I do splatter this with the ink blending solution, and it just pushes the color away and adds a whole nother dimension. How fun's that? Now I did come in with my heat tool just on low. This is synthetic, remember, so it will melt the paper, but I just wanted to dry it a bit quicker. I would be very careful here with doing that as well, but it seemed to work for me. And this time I managed to get a whole lot more of the gold foil down. And I think that's typically because this time I've added more colour. So I'm going to have more sort of sticky areas and more depth on those sort of deeper colours there. How pretty is that? Alright, so I wanted to keep with the goldy glimmery shine. So what I've got here is the Gilded Glitter Cardstock Gradient pack, and it has a few different versions of gold and I decided that the citrine looked the best. And I've cut a sentiment from the Way to Go die set, and here I'm just sort of working out where I want to cut away the portions of my Yupo paper, so that I can have it the exact size to fit the front of my card. Now this Yupo paper isn't exactly the same colour as the Nina cardstock, and I did add a sub sentiment using the Nina, and in real life you can't really see much of a difference between the whites, but it is difficult to photograph, and sometimes you can see the variations, but it really does work. Another option would have been to actually stamp my sentiment on the Yupo paper. I haven't typically tried a lot of stamping. I presume I'd have to use either like a pigment ink or something that's not going to smudge. And that sentiment today was stamped in some more Aqualicious. This was the Aqualicious ink, and I used the Stone Mosaic set. And I popped up all my sentiments just on the front of the cards. My second card is very similar. I just kept these designs really simple because I wanted the backgrounds to be the focus, but I have seen some amazing versions of these cards with like a die cut outline flower. You could do it in a gold, you could do it in white, you can add vellum layers as well. That looks really pretty. I just wanted the focus to be these inked backgrounds. So this is the Waterbrush Hello Die, and I've die cut that with the gold Mirror Cardstock and laid it up on some of the 110 Nina pound 110 pound Nina cardstock, as well as a sub sentiment from the Modern Hello stamp set. So of course I will list all the supplies that I've used below. If you did like today's video, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. There's always lots going on here. Till next time, bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!